be prepared to destroy your birth team.
And know that you have the authority to do that.
Hello, my name is Ana Doak and welcome to Nanay Anay. Today's video, we are going to discuss about 7 unconventional home birth tips. So
ideas that you may not have heard of before. So there's a lot of ideas, a lot of really good suggestions out there about home birth, but we're going to give you some hopefully new ideas.
So you know that just a month ago I've given birth, and that's not really my first unassisted home birth. That was actually our 11th home birth child, 10th unassisted.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say that because I got that inquiries, in the comment section, and some people were messaging me if that was my first unassisted, and nope, it's not. It's really our 11th home birth child.
Yeah, big shout out to everybody who left a comment and engaged. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Since I do get a lot of a lot of inquiries about how we do it ourselves, and then some people were also asking about the home birth preparation. But that was some kind of like personal, because that was I really based on our
what we're doing. Yeah.
What we're doing. But today, let's just discuss about these home birth tips that are quite unconventional, right, Tatay? So what's in the number 1 list?
Number 1 is ignore your contractions. That's abnormal. Most of the time people are really focusing on their contractions. But this idea is to just completely ignore them. And you can do that if you're giving birth at home because you're already at home. You don't have to travel anywhere necessarily.
Yes.
Right?
With this child I have with baby understanding, we did something very unconventional. When I was having on and off contraction that day, Tatay and Anay went on a date.
Went out to eat. Yeah, let's go. And I would not recommend that. I mean, wasn't it like a 25-minute drive one way?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a little far. I mean, if you gotta run and make like a 10 or 15-minute errand, that's kind of pushing it, You don't really want to be away from home when you're laboring. But if you got to run a little 5-minute trip, that's fine,
Yeah. Well, the thing there is, I know, again, this is my experience. I'm an experienced home birther. So I kind of know really that it's still not really the right time yet. So at that time, I was able to ignore it. But usually in the past, what have I done, when it comes to ignoring your contraction? When I'm feeling that I'm in the early stage, labor, what I would do is I would start cooking meals. I would, especially the food that I like. I look forward. I'm Asian, so I really look forward to this arroz caldo. It's like a rice porridge that I grew up eating. That's kind of like my comfort food. So that's what I would do to kind of like. Because after giving birth, that's one of the food that I always look forward to eating. Mm-hmm. So that actually, if you think about it, that's actually giving you a positive thing that would lead you to that would lead to for your contraction to progress. Mm-hmm. Because there is something that you look forward to doing, after giving birth, and that would create a positive impact to yourself, to your birth, to the contraction. And that's like, at least that's in my case, when it comes to ignoring your contraction.
Right. And ignoring your contraction, the idea there is also that you can relax more if you're not hyper focused on it. And most of the time,
yes,
the reason you are timing your contractions, both the duration and the interval, is so that you know when to transfer, and you don't have to worry about that if you're giving birth at home. So ignore your contractions is our first idea.
Yes.
Next.
Number 2, destroy your birth team. What? Yeah, well, be prepared to destroy your birth team.
And know that you have the authority to do that. That's really what this is about, is make sure that you know that you're the one who decides who is going to be there and who is not going to be there. And especially if you've had bad experiences in the past with people who have been present at your birth, it's a good idea to have a conversation in advance and let them know that your preferences may change at any point during the birth process.
Yes.
And if you need to kick out your own husband, you need to be able to do that, and he needs to be ready and not make a big fuss about it, right?
Yeah. I just remember recently, because I'm a member of this one group in Facebook. I'm not gonna mention the name, but then one of the ladies there brought up about she was so upset because her midwife brought along an assistant midwife that she didn't know ahead of time, and that, boy oh boy, that created a huge impact on her home birth experience.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't ready for that. Nobody mentioned, about her midwife bringing an assistant, with her, and that just like totally brought so much impact to her home birth experience. So a lot of the ladies, were commenting there that, you should not allow that. Your sentiment is totally valid. Your frustration is totally valid, because a lot of us home birthers know how important it is to pick your birth team.
Right.
That's why I resorted to an assisted. My birth team in my first birth was awesome, but then at that I just really realized with myself, my personality, I'm very much a private person.
Mm-hmm.
I chose, I prefer to be on my own, so that's why we resorted to doing an assistant. But to those of you who still wanted to hire a midwife or pick your own birth team, you have to be prepared to
right.
get rid of them if you needed to.
Yep. And that includes more than just the professionals, also family members who may or may not be present. It also includes children for us, right? So there can be other people that are not, like maybe a doula, your midwife,
or your in-law.
In-laws,
if you in the beginning, you're okay with it, but then during the birth, you notice like some of it could be your mom or your mother-in-law is kind of like saying things.
It could be a perfume that they chose to wear that day.
Yes.
That turns you off.
Yeah.
And, so those kinds of social dynamics are important, and it's a good idea to discuss those beforehand.
Yes.
So next.
Number 3, candles and flowers. So there are ladies out there who really prefer, candles, light up for their birth.
And men.
When your place is dim, when you turn off the big lights, and then you just have this like warm light, coming from a candle, that actually helps you relax more. It does something with your eyes, when your eyes actually, when it's so bright, your eyes is like, constricted.
Yeah. I think the opposite of that is dilation.
Yeah. But when
if it's dark, your eyes dilate. They open.
Yes, it opens. I think it's your iris that opens, or is it your pupil?
I don't know.
Back to this, and I was upset during the biology class with it, because just kidding. But again, it opens up your eyes, and then that really helps also the rest of your body to open up. So it really helps, with the lady becoming more relaxed, with the whole birth, when you are in labor. And then of course with the flowers, I would highly suggest for me personally, I love the lavender scent, so if only I'm in France or somewhere where you can grow lavender, that's probably one of the things I would put in my birth tub, like a lavender scent, because it would just like help you relax and calm down. But whatever your preference, it could be a rose, it could be hibiscus,
But those fresh petals,
yes.
It's puts the scene, it's a very romantic scene with the petals.
Yeah.
Oftentimes petals are associated in flowers too with weddings. It can bring back positive memories.
Yeah, probably.
Of getting married.
But to you, whatever your preferences, would be.
Okay.
Then number 4.
Dancing.
Dancing,
yes.
You're not into that, but there was a time when I was still like, offering doula services.
Can we call it dancing? We're just like wandering around holding each other.
Yeah, but it could be
kind of dancing. Sure.
Yeah, it could be like, dancing the romantic way. But then there was a time when I was still offering doula services back in the US. I have this one client who would be doing this like really like kind of like tribal dance,
Oh yeah.
you know, but that really helps her deal with the pain, you know. Whenever she would have contractions, she would be like doing this almost like a tribal dance, but that really helped her, you know. And it
Yeah.
was like, okay, and then it kept her going, you know, with the dancing, you know. And I just like, that's like one thing I remember when it comes
Oh,
to
yeah.
dancing.
Movement is really a great way
Yeah.
to manage pain.
Yes,
You can
yes.
think of whenever you stub your toe or any other thing where you're really uncomfortable, you got an acute
Yeah.
pain, it helps to just move, right?
Yes,
Just
yes,
to move
to
that body
move.
part and just keep moving.
Yep, and I have also an experience with the dancing. We when I was giving birth with Abraham, Alex, I really love music, you know, when I'm giving birth. But at that time, I chose a classic song, you know, by Kurt Rodemer, like a version of the Johann Sebastian, you know, Bach music.
Goldberg variation.
Goldberg variation. There you
Yes.
go. I was trying to think about that. And then I remember Alex and I were just like dancing. You know, I was just like holding on to him and was just like dancing.
We
you
got to
know,
include a link to that album. by
Oh
the
yeah,
way.
like very mellow
link.
sound. And then when Abraham was born, the Goldberg variation was playing in the background, and up to now when I heard that song, I always remember the very intimate moment giving birth with him, and well, he and I also were like dancing. So
I would call it the ultimate birth music. It is some of the best music ever written by man,
yeah,
and it's performed on these custom instruments that were built. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just amazing.
amazing. Yeah,
These guitars that were built, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, whatever music you prefer. If you like rock, go for it. If you like rap, go for it. You know, but again, it's your preference. So you whatever you like, you know. And then the dancing, you know, you can do tango while you are in labor. Okay, number 5.
5.
You say it.
Padding the birth pool.
Mm.
So now, if you're made of money, you might have a birth pool that already has padding built
yeah, the
in.
expensive one.
Yeah, there's some really high-end birth pools that have soft linings on the inside.
Yeah.
But if you're a commoner and you're dealing with whatever you can get your hands on for a birth tub, like a kiddie pool or anything else, sometimes they're hard, or you're putting them on a hard surface, right?
Mm.
If your floor's not carpeted, it might actually be kind of hard.
Yeah.
And so you can put padding. Ideally, you put some foam padding below your tub if it's like a thin bottom. But if it's a hard bottom tub, you need to put the padding inside. But they make those foam pads that go on the bottom of children's
behind you.
playrooms. We have some here? Yeah, we do. These work really well. They're really affordable. You know, they just kind of like puzzle pieces that you put together.
Yeah, for your yeah.
So those would be a fantastic solution inside or underneath the birth tub. And
Yeah. I remember I have one experience where I was using a pillow, and that was more comfortable than the pillow in my experience. You know, I prefer that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's consistent.
Yeah, because with the pillow, you know, of course it's outside the pool, but what if it will get wet? What if it will get bloody? So you're kind of like, oh no, my pillow will be destroyed, you know. But with that one, that's really cheaper, so you can just like toss it out, you know, in case something will get to it and you don't like it anymore. Okay, number 6 on our list: affirmation wall or board.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was thinking it'd be nice if your affirmations are somewhat mobile.
Oh
if
yeah.
you need them to be, like you can move them
Or
around.
you can just put it all over in the house.
Cover the walls and the ceiling and the floor. Might as well make a big mess. The idea here is to put positive sayings of encouragement on pieces of paper.
Or pictures.
You could also include pictures, photos that you like looking at. But the affirmations should be fairly large text, so you don't have to read them when you're right up close. You know, something positive, a little sketch, just something that's, you know, again, it's the act of writing down gratitude, positivity. These things matter. They actually do matter a lot in birth.
Yes.
So your mental state is paramount.
Yes.
So important for the husband as well as for the wife, obviously, but for the husband too, you know.
Yeah. I mean, this is one thing I don't do much because I have him. I would say all the affirmation, nice words, you know. Anyway, so number 7.
Last and definitely least, poop together. So, different cultures and different social norms dictate, but if you're comfortable enough to use the bathroom together, that's a good indication that you won't have any discomfort during birth. because there's certain biological processes that must occur during birth, one of which is emptying the bowels. So that's something that has to occur during birth mechanically. So if you're comfortable enough with the person you're going to be birthing with, so it's not a requirement, but it is an idea, right?
Or just think about, can you poop when that person is next to you? I mean, it's really
Look, look, I can see us saying that because of how we are, but I can also envision some other couples that are not that comfortable. What do you guys think? I mean, is that insane or what? I think it's pretty crazy, but it kind of makes sense. We often say to each other, "You make me poop," because when you're with somebody who makes you that comfortable
and relaxed,
then your bowels start to move, right?
Yeah.
Usually you're not going to go poop in a strange place. Have you ever had that where you're out and about, you're running errands, or you're at a restaurant, and you don't want to go number 2 out there, or you come home, and then a few minutes after you get home, all of a sudden you find that your bowels are moving because you're comfortable, you're in a peaceful place, you're in a familiar place, you're with familiar people, and you know that you can fully relax and be quiet and alone, right?
Yeah.
Same principle applies here.
Yes. Yeah, you might not think that matters, but that actually really matters, because again, the mechanism, the giving birth, the process is like, coming out, of course, from a different hole. I hate saying this, but it's really that, like what he was saying, the biological process, is there.
Yeah.
So it's amazing, but when I had this doula service to this one lady, I was like, she was so comfortable with me that she would like do all those, do some things that I would think I will never do to other people. But hey, she was very comfortable doing that with me, and that's why she was able to give birth with me. And that's like a very important it's actually the relationship, your relationship, the trust that you have with this person that's with you. It could be your husband, it could be your midwife, it could be even your OB, you know what I'm saying? And it's the
Can you poop in the same room as your OB?
Yeah, so it's basically the trust. But anyway, I hope you enjoy listening to these unconventional home birth tips. And thank you so much, guys, to those nice words that we got also from my previous home birth video that we published, 2 weeks ago. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys, and what else do you want to say?
That's it. Thank you so much.
I hope you find this video very, very useful and very helpful to you. Anyway, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you'll be updated of our video. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye. God bless you.
Shut up.